So this week's parsha is Amor, which I'll quickly go through the parts we're skipping, and because I want to start at a particular place. I'm just not, well, let me put it on and I'll show you what I'm not in the mood to go through today.
Okay.
Um,
Here you go. You're the boss.
yeah. We here? Okay, I'm turning you all off because by now I know we have same 4 people. I should be able to keep track. Okay, so I'll go back and show you where it starts, and it just goes through. Let's see, where do you start anymore? Oh, okay. So it starts talking about instructions for the priests and how they can't defile themselves. The only people they can bury are the relatives. Oh, go away, phone. All right, I can't pick it up, so I can't stop it for a minute till it stops ringing. But so the only people they can bury are the relatives that are closest to them: mother, father, son, daughter, and brother. Also for a virgin sister close to him. Okay. Anyway, and then it goes on, talks about
Does it allow for wives though?
it doesn't say wives, right? No, it distinctly does not say wives.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm not here to teach you Torah,
Right. I'm just
to teach you how to read it. But let's see, they shall not take into their houses as a wife woman defiled. And then it talks about all the women they're not allowed to marry who were defiled through various things. Let's see, shall not go near a dead body, not defile himself, even for his father or mother. Shall not go outside the sanctuary. Anyway, I just wasn't in the mood, sorry, to go into all of this. And then it talks about all the people who aren't allowed to bring sacrifices because any defect at all, blind, lame, a limb too short, a broken leg, hunchback, all these people are forbidden from taking part in the offerings and the sacrifices. And it's not pleasant. It's not a pleasant part of, for me anyway, of the Torah. So let's see. Person, if a priest's daughter becomes a layman's wife, she may not eat of the sacred gifts, but if the priest's daughter is widowed, she can eat. I don't know. So let's go to, and then it talks about how you're not allowed to slaughter an animal and its kin on the same day, or maybe even you have to wait 7 days in between. No animal from the herd or from the flock shall be slaughtered on the same day with its young. And just this morning I read a whole Devar Torah about why that's the case.
The thing you went through before is kind of sad, because I mean, if a person is blind or lame or whatever it is, it's not their fault.
I know.
If I can just, the Eitz Chaim has something about that, because it says that people will be troubled by these rules, okay? So it goes on to say that in later texts, in the Psalms and the prophets, the Bible emphasizes that the broken in body and spirit, because they had been cured of the sin of arrogance, are specifically welcome before God. True sacrifice to God is a contrite spirit. You will not despise God. You will not despise contrite and crushed heart. Today, it says, goes on to say, today, we might well consider the religious institution that is willing to admit their own perfections and is willing to engage physically handicapped spiritual leaders as being better able to welcome worshipers who are aware of their own physical or emotional imperfections. And it says many congregations have made special efforts to provide access for the handicapped. So I think in the Psalms and the Book of Prophets, that's sort of negated that idea.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That
I know
thinking.
my rabbi has made, I don't know how he came to it or how, what the process was, but we have a woman who is, well, she's legally blind. I don't know if she, but she wanted to read Torah, and this is probably 10 years already. And somehow he figured out a way to make it, legal or acceptable for her to read. I mean, her husband will go up or someone else and hold the yad and be pointing to the words while but she essentially memorizes it. She's not really reading, but he made that big exception, and he's not, he would not call himself at all a
Progressive.
liberal interpreter of halakha. I mean, he's always on the much more conservative side of things. And during COVID, really, that was very clear during COVID that he is not willing to bend very much. But anyway, but for this, for
Question.
the woman.
Question for you. How old is your rabbi? About approximately.
Is, I would say he's 58. I'm almost positive.
I mean, because I'm wondering how many, because I think of how many people have some sort of deformities go up on our bima and are there. And people, I've never heard of that before or seen that. And it could be because I'm not observant, but it could, I just wonder how many people observe that, because with the policy to let more people in, is it ignored or not even thought of as being important?
Yeah, well, from what Marilyn read, I think it's, I think that it's been reinterpreted and but reading Torah, I think is, that's pretty serious, if you can't see it. But as I said, he's made an exception and found a way for her to do it. But let's go to where I wanted to be past all these things that I didn't want to read. There's even a part in here about burning a daughter who, anyway, it burning, essentially burning women at the stake. It's not pleasant. Okay, so chapter 23. What happened to chapter 23? Here. Okay, this is where we want to be. And it's already 10:12. So let's start. Okay, Amy, do you want to read 1 and 2?
Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe Lamor. Daber el Bnei Yisrael Va'amarta Alechem Moadei Adonai Asher Tikru. Oh,
that's a perfect example of what we say tikru when there's two together like that. Yeah, it's a perfect example.
Oh, Tikru Otam Mikrae Kodesh Ele Hem Moadai.
Good. Perfect. So Adonai spoke to Moses saying, speak to the Israelite people and say to them, these are my fixed times, the fixed times of Adonai, which you shall proclaim as sacred occasions. Okay. Okay. Arlene, 3.
Sure. Sheshet Yamim Ta'aseh Melach.
Te'aseh.
Oh, Te'aseh. Yes, right. Of course, Te'aseh. Mela'acha uv'yom hashvi'i Shabbat Shabbaton Mikara Kodesh Kadosh. Yeah. Well, oh, is that
Kodesh, Mikra
Kodesh?
Kodesh.
Yeah, Kodesh. Okay. Tal Mala'aha Lo Ta'asu. Yeah. Shabbat Hiva Liha
Ladonai.
Ladonai. Oh yeah, Ladonai. God. Bechol Moshivotechem.
Moshvotechem.
Moshivotechem. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's the
So
pen.
on
It's like, is,
6 days,
In the middle of the second line, it's Hey Vav Aleph. That's he.
he, yeah,
The Vav is silent.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's one of those words we talked about at the very beginning that are difficult, right?
What does it mean? What does that mean, he?
It's here.
it.
Yes, yeah.
E,
Oh, it.
H.
The Moshav they use in modern Hebrew.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
so there's a dot over the Vov. Is that Votechem?
Yeah, Mosh. So it's just
It's
like
Mosh.
this one, Mosh Vo.
Votechem. Yeah, that's what I said, but I
And
didn't
the
know whether.
this little line is just kind of telling you to emphasize that syllable. Like we
Okay.
Mosh Vo Techem. Yeah. Mosh
Because
Vo.
sometimes they put the dot a little further over,
Uh-huh.
not right on top of it at the end of the letter, and so
Yeah.
it confused me. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I mean, here it's in approximately the same place. It just depends on the printing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So 6 days, Sheshet Yamim, they maybe work may be done, but on the 7th day there shall be a Sabbath of complete rest. A sacred occasion. I'm trying to find where it says complete. Okay. You shall do no work. It shall be a Sabbath of Adonai throughout your settlements. Oh, I guess by repeating, maybe by repeating Shabbat and Shabbat twice, that's what makes it complete. Sometimes I think we've come across that before when that with colors, when they wanted to really make something like a vivid red, they'll have that red twice, or maybe that's what Shabbaton is, a complete rest. Okay.
What does Shabbaton actually mean? Shabbaton, what it,
Yeah.
is it slightly a different meaning?
Yeah, I don't know. Shabbat. I can't really explain it. There, I mean, unless it's there, a Shabbat of Shabbats, a Shabbat of, I don't know if it's a Shabbat of like Shabbat of of complete rest. I don't know.
Yeah, I always knew it as a day of rest.
I can't explain it.
Shabbat, a complete day of rest, Shabbaton. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's a day of a rest of rest. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
So Audrey, you want to read? I guess 4 and 5 because they're short. Yeah.
Ele moadei Adonai mikra e kodesh, asher tikra'u otam b'moadam.
Okay, so that's pretty much repeating most of what we've said already. Okay, go ahead.
B'chodesh harishon ba'arba'ash asar lachodesh ben ha'arba'im pesach ladonai.
All right, so in the first month, on the 14th day, Ba'arba Asar of the month, at twilight. I
Hmm.
always like that. Arba'im. There should be a Passover offering to God. Okay. We just
And
finished.
that's the bone we put on the plate, right? Signifies that when we put on the Seder plate, it's
Oh,
like,
right, the Pesach. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. I didn't, never knew that.
Yeah.
Good girl, Amy.
Mm, mm.
If, the five of us together, can come up with something intelligent. It's wonderful. Okay. Marilyn.
Uvachamisa asa yom lachodesh hazeh hag hamatzot lahova shivcha.
Ladonai.
Oh, the easiest one. Ladonai shivacha shivat amim matzot.
Wait, don't
So-
forget the yud. Yamin.
Yamin matzot tochelu.
Okay. So on the 15th day of that month's feast of unleavened bread, you shall eat unleavened bread for 7 days. It seems like we read this a few weeks ago in a different place, but that's fine. You want to read the next one too?
Yeah, sure. Bayom harishon mikra kodesh Adonai lachem.
No. What's this
Oh.
one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lachem kol melechet avodah lo ta'asu.
Good. So on the first day, you shall celebrate a sacred occasion. You shall not work at your occupations. So this is interesting because it's kind of the source. I'm sure you've heard that in Israel, they only have one day at the beginning of Pesach, which is considered, Chag, whereas we have two in the diaspora. So this makes it clear that it's, anyway, that's.
And we do that because we're not sure exactly when the
Yeah, I think,
dates
right, that
or
was
the hours or something.
right, or at some point, a long time ago, they weren't sure. I'm sure now, with our modern technology, we know exactly. But yeah, that was the reason I've heard.
This
for why.
passage is, this passage is how they justify only one day in Israel, right?
That's right, that's what I said, that,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Yeah, okay. So Amy, if you wanna,
But Vehikrav Tem. That dot on the bottom of the olive, E? No.
just ignore, here it's E.
Yeah. E. Isha.
Yeah,
Ladonai. Shivat. Yamim. Bayom. Hashvi'i. Mikra. Kodesh. Kol. Melechet. Avda. Avodah, right. Lo ta'ashu.
So I think you ended on the right spot, Sue.
Ta'asu.
You were hesitating, so I wasn't
It's
sure.
it's a
Yeah.
ta'asu.
Sue, yeah.
And
Okay.
avodah is thanks.
Work.
Oh, right. Avodah is work. Yeah.
7 days you shall make offerings by fire to God.
Mhm.
Isha, Aish, fire. The 7th day shall be a sacred occasion. Mikra Kodesh. You shall not work at your occupations. Okay. Oh, with this, I usually take the phone out of the room and I forgot today. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. This call comes twice a day and we ignore it, so I'm not picking it up. Okay, Arlene, do you want to read?
Sure. Yes.
Go
Vayedaber,
take this one now. I'll be done.
okay. Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe le Amor.
Lay more.
Lamor. Lamor.
Okay.
Daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarat v'amarta al alehem ki tavo'u el haaretz asher ani notain lachem ukzarehem tem at
Et-
et kitsira v'havetem et omer reshit kitzirchem el hakohen.
Okay, good. Speak to the Israelite people and say to them, when you enter the land that I'm giving to you and you reap its harvest, you shall bring the first sheaf of your harvest to the priest. So that's the Omer Reshit, is the first sheaf of your harvest.
Oh, oh,
Time
yeah.
to the priest.
So that
Omer.
word Omer is the one that we're counting now is Omer.
Exactly.
Well, oh, does Omer mean counting or?
It means sheaf. It's
Oh.
it's a like a measurement of grain of, yeah.
And the word, but now Omer is like counting days, so.
Right. So exactly, because the whole meaning of the holiday or changed when the second temple was destroyed. I did a whole thing about lecture about this last year because it made me crazy not understanding what the Omer was and counting the Omer. I used to do it like rotely, just because they said to do it, and I never understood what it was about. And so I did a lot of research. And the bottom line is, when the second temple was destroyed, the rabbis reinvented the holiday so that people would keep, observing it. And now I'm reading, the agricultural aspect of the festival receded, and Shavuot became primarily the Feast of Revelation. So an echo of nature, however, still lingers in the present custom of adorning the synagogue with flowers. So, right. So now we're counting the days between, leaving Egypt and receiving the Torah. That's what the 50 days, the 50 days is. Instead of what this is going to be talking about in a minute, they'll be talking about counting 7 weeks. But let's get to it. But absolutely, you're absolutely right that it began with the first at the beginning of the harvest, when they brought their first piece of the harvest. Okay, so so let's continue. And I wish I remembered who. I think Amy, were you just reading?
Arlene finished.
Arlene just finished. Okay, so Audrey, he shall elevate. Vahenif.
Henif et ha'emer.
Omer.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Isn't
I
it
didn't-
amazing when you actually read it in Hebrew and it's like, oh, that's what
Yeah.
we've been talking about all these years. Yeah.
No, but those like quotation marks on top. And
Quotation marks?
and look, that I have 2 little marks on top.
On top of here?
One looks like a triangle, and one looks like a circle.
On
What?
Yeah.
top? Or you mean on
Top
bottom?
Omer.
Oh,
No,
you
on
mean on
top,
bottom? You said on top.
on top of the iron.
There's nothing on top except the.
Oh, just the
You don't
dot.
see that?
You mean on the bottom? You must mean on the
No.
bottom.
No, I mean on the top.
No,
You don't have that?
I don't know
no.
what you're looking at. Are you looking at the
Oh,
screen or are
it
you
was,
reading?
I'm sorry, there were spots on my screen. There's only one circle on there. I was seeing a circle and a triangle.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay.
I really truly do. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Et haomer lifnei Adonai lirtzonchem mi maharat hashabat yenifenu yenifenu
Yeah,
hakohen.
Okay, he, meaning the priest, shall elevate the sheaf before Adonai. I have pictures of this. It's fascinating. For acceptance in your behalf, the priest shall elevate it on the day after the Sabbath. And this is a big controversy, or was many years ago, whether it meant actually Sabbath Shabbat or whether it meant on a different day of rest. But I'm not going to go bore you with that. But just know that this word after the Sabbath was a source of major controversy between the Sadducees and the Pharisees. If you know about
Pharisees.
the different sects back then, it was apparently like, I don't know if they ever went to a war over it, but it was a huge source of debate. Okay.
It's
Audrey, go ahead.
amazing. It's amazing what people will fight over, isn't it?
Well, the reason it was important was, I guess, to know exactly
Which
what
day?
day to do all of this. Because
Uh-huh.
you're supposed to do it on a certain day, and so maybe they were fighting over the calendar, or because they wanted to get things exactly right, and not violate the Torah. So
Mhm.
anyway, you can understand why, zealots, all these people were zealots, wanted to
Yeah.
make sure they were doing it right, and that everybody else was doing it right, and but
Mhm. Okay.
yeah, no, life is hard.
What was the period of time with the Sadducees and the Pharisees, if you remember, Barbara?
I don't know, does someone know? I want to say like the first and second centuries after.
Second temple, or?
I think I'm not sure. I don't want I never like to say if I'm not sure. So someone can look it up.
For still people that in Israel that observe one or the other, because I saw a movie about it, but they're not really considered Jews, but they
Sacrifice, they do the sacrifices.
no, they don't do that. But they're more to a very literal interpretation of the Bible, but not sacrifices.
Yeah.
If you look it up, they still have some people that do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that following their traditions.
Right. Maybe they're still arguing over what those words mean. Audrey, do you want to read the next one?
Sure. ועשיתם ביום הניחכם את האומר, כבש תמים,
Keves,
is that
a
right?
lamb.
כבש,
Keves. Oh, maybe you said that. Okay.
No, I said sin, keves.
Okay, good. Perfect. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Tamim ben shinato leola ladonai.
Okay, good. So on the day that you elevate the sheaf, the Omer, you shall offer as a burnt offering leola to Adonai. Here again, they don't translate it in the same order that the words appear, which makes me crazy, to offer a lamb of the first year without blemish. Even in English, you can make that mistake. So tamim is without blemish. It's, perfect, like perfect. And ben shnato is in the first year. Okay, good. Okay, Marilyn.
Uminchat to shnei eshonim sonim
Esronim.
esronim oh, right. Solet belula vashen isha ladonoi reach nichota nitocha venis
Nichoach. Nichoach.
yeah. Venisco yayin revia
Revi'it.
Oh, eat. Oh, it looks like it. Hayin. Is that it?
Hahim. Yeah. This is a very, this line is repeated a lot in the Torah. So it as weird as it sounds to you, it sounds so normal to me because I've read this so many times. Okay, so the meal offering with it shall be 2/10 of a measure. So 2/10 of a measure of choice oil, choice flour. So solet is choice flour. Belula is mixed in with fat or with oil. Belula bashemen is mixed with oil. And here we have the fire, the offering by fire again, isheh. And pleasing smell is reach nichoach. It's like ruach,
Spirit.
Spirit or soul. So it's also like a odor or a pleasing odor. And a beverage or a libation, I'm sorry, with wine. So we have yain, with a quarter of a hin. That's a measurement, whatever that might have been. So rivi'i, is 4, so it's a quarter of a hin. I don't know what a hin is anyway. Yeah, it's fascinating. Okay. Amy.
V'lechem v'kali v'charmel lo tochlu ad etzem hayom hazeh ad haviachem et karban.
It's if you look at it's really korban, but yeah.
Oh, korban. Elohechem ukat olam lidorotechem.
Right, Lador vador, door, generation to generation, door. Yeah.
B'kol Mosh v'techem.
Right, Mosh vo.
Mosh v'techem.
Right. So until that very day, until you have brought the offering of your God, you shall eat no bread, so lechem, or parched grain or fresh ears. So I'm going to take a chance and click on that. Bread or parched grain or fresh ears. That is of the new crop. Okay. So parched grain or fresh ears is from the new crop. Okay.
Mhm.
So until that day, until you, okay, so when the new harvest comes, you're not allowed to eat anything from it until the priest has brought this offering. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. That's good. Okay. Arlene,
Sure. Uspartem,
yeah,
lachem, mimacharat, hashabat, miyom, haviavhem, et omer, hatinufa, sheva, Shabbatot, Temimot, Tehiyena. Tehiyena? Yeah, Tehiyena.
yeah, Tehiyana, good. So from the day on which you bring the sheaf of elevation offering, the day after the Shabbat, and this is the same thing that we've talking about. It's not clear if it meant actually Shabbat or just a day of rest, another day of rest. You shall count off 7 weeks, and they must be complete. So here we've got this Timim again. Remember a minute ago, it was in the context of a lamb being like perfect, tamim or
Mhm.
complete,
Right.
without blemish. So
blemish.
here it's like here it means complete.
Huh.
So it's related to that. Okay.
So,
Timimot.
so what makes a week complete?
Good question. I don't know.
I mean, and it seems like it's the day after the Sabbath, which, I mean, probably to me means the day after the last day of the holiday, when
Mhm.
when there's a work prohibition.
Yes, yes. So I'm not sure if you agree with the Pharisees of the Sadducees, but, but that was one of the days.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Yeah, I can
You
read
mean-
this to you. I mean, I don't want to dwell on it, but it says the interpretation of this phrase was the subject of heated controversy in early rabbinic times between the Pharisees and the Sadducees. The latter, so the Sadducees took the word Sabbath in its usual sense and maintained that the Omer was to be brought on the morrow. Does that mean on the next day? On the
Yeah.
morrow
Yes.
of the first Saturday in Passover. The Pharisees argued that Sabbath here means the day of cessation from work, which is what you're saying, right? Which is
Okay,
Right. Yeah.
Passover. And the context shows that the Feast of Unleavened Bread is intended. What does that mean? Therefore, the Omer was to be brought on the 16th of Nisan. This is supported by this, I don't know how to say that, Septuagint. How do you say that?
Septuagenarian.
Septuagint, which renders on the morrow of the first day and Josephus. The offerings of the sheaf took place on the 16th, the first busy work day of the harvest, in relation to which the preceding day might well be called a Sabbath or rest day, though not all labor was prohibited. This is alone compatible with the context and is free from the objections to which the other opinions are open. Does that help you?
No,
But
no, I'm
yes, I
lost.
agree that it's more likely to mean that rest day of the holiday and not a Saturday, not a official
Because if you
Shabbat.
go back to, I mean, when you think about Passover, if you go back to the Saturday within Passover and then start counting from there, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what they mean by complete, but okay.
Oh, that's right. Your question was about complete. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe you must count until the day after the 7th
Week.
I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely, I'm
Yeah.
sure, I'm more than sure that volumes have been written about it though. So
And you know what? If they can write volumes about it, we're not going to solve it in a few words. So
exactly, that's my point. That
Forget
it's
it. I'm
just
sorry,
it's just to know that we're not crazy and our questions are not the first time they've been asked.
Oh, good. All right.
You know, but
And do you think they will continue to ask them after us also?
well, I don't know how many. Do you think modern scholars are still worrying about these things? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't either. It's
But
okay.
but I just think it's fun to actually see this stuff in the original, you know, to see where it comes from. I just really love
Oh, I
that.
agree, because I had no idea. You know, like, I mean, I've read about rabbis and pilpul and parsing, and I couldn't understand what they were getting involved in. And now that I'm reading this, I see what they can get involved in.
Exactly.
So that's
I
good.
bet, I bet there are rabbis in Israel right now in Jerusalem who are still debating these points.
Oh yeah.
You're right, Audrey, probably.
Yeah, oh,
Never-
absolutely. And the government is supporting them to study it, right?
And
not
we
have-
would not be included in these conversations.
well, that too. That too. Yeah. In fact, I'll have to dig out what I did last year. I mean, there's a whole institute. I can't remember what it's called, devoted to this Omer. Oh, yeah, I had pictures from it of priests with a basket, waving this basket over his head, and yeah, it's still an active yeah.
Oh,
there's
wow.
people doing
Okay.
this stuff. Okay. Okay. Okay, Audrey, I don't know if it's your turn or not, but why don't you pick up?
Okay. Ad mimacharat hashabbat, hashvi'it tish peru hamishim yom v'hikravtem mincha hachdasha Adonai.
Okay, so I don't know if this is an explanation of what complete means or not, but you must count until the day after the 7th week, 50 days. Then you shall bring an offering of new grain to Adonai. And this is Shavuot now. Now, why, it's interesting that they're told to count 7 weeks, but then they're said, but count the next day too, it's kind of like, okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, should I continue?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Mimoshvotechem taviu. What's the line there?
It's just a trope thing to tell you to stop for a minute.
Okay. Lechem tenufash shitayim shnei esronim solet tehiyena hametz te'ethena bechurim ladonai.
I wonder if the 2 loaves is why when we do motzi use 2 challah, but it might be coincidence.
Yeah, no, I think it is from, you shall bring from your settlements. So from your settlements, we've had that several times. 2 loaves of bread as an elevation offering. Each shall be made of 2/10. We had that before. Shnei esronim, of a measure of, here, so we have the choice flour baked after leavening. So here we have chametz because it's leavened, right? As first fruits to Adonai. Bikurim, Adonai. Do you know Bikur?
Yeah.
Okay.
First fruits.
Yeah. Okay, Marilyn.
V'hikravtem al halechem shiv'at Kevasim, Tamimim, B'nai Shabbat, Ufar,
No,
Ben.
what's this?
Shabbat? Oh, Shabbat. Shana, thank you.
Good. Okay.
Shana, that's a big difference. Shana, Ufar, Ben, Bakar, Echad, Ve'elim, Shana'im, Adonai,
No,
Ola.
wait.
Oh,
Read it.
you. I did at the same time. You, Ola, Lach, no, Lava, Laiva.
This one is
That's
Ladonai.
I'll never get this right. Ladonai. Umin Khatam, Benis Kehem, Isha, Ishay, right?
Ishay. Good.
Recha, Nichot,
Reach.
Reach, Nichoach, Ladonai.
Okay, good. So we have a lot of the same descriptions again. So with the bread you shall present as burnt offerings to Adonai 7 yearling lambs without blemish, 1 bull, 2 rams with their meal offerings and libations, and offering by fire of pleasing odor. Reach nichoach. Okay, so yearling lambs, I believe, are like lambs in their first year, B'nai Shana. Yeah, we had it earlier when it was talking about 1 lamb in its first year. So now we have 7 lambs in their first year. Okay. And a par is a bull, and 2 alim are rams. Okay. Yeah, really useful things for 2023, but why not? Okay, Amy.
Va'asitem Seir,
Seir.
Ezim, Ezim,
Uh-huh.
Echad, Lahatat, Ushnei, Kivasim.
It's like keves, but plural. Yeah.
B'nai Shana, Lezebat,
It's a
Shulamai.
yeah. Lezevach.
What?
Zevach. I thought you said T.
Lezevach.
Yeah.
Lezevach. Shulamim.
Good.
Shulamim, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Shalamim. Shalem, like shalem. Okay. Okay. So you shall also offer a he-goat as a chatat is a sin offering, like chet is a sin. So it's a sin offering, and 2 lamb. So a keves is 1 lamb, and kivasim are 2 lambs. As a sacrifice of well-being. Okay. Wow. Okay. Arlene.
Sure. Yehenif ha-kohen hatam al lechem havi churim tenufa lifnei Adonai al shnei kivashim kodesh yihu ladonai lechohen.
Okay, so here we have the priest.
Sorry, Lechohen.
La Kohen, yeah. So we have the priest again, elevating the 2 lambs. Oh, so together with the bread of the first fruits, the 2 that we also have the 2 lambs. I don't know if elevate, does he pick up the lambs? When it says to elevate the lambs, does that mean he picks them up the same way?
Sounds like it. I mean,
The force of the Hebrew construction is uncertain. That's for sure. I agree with that. Does anyone disagree with that?
Yeah. Can you picture a big tray with 2 lambs and
in one hand, the 2 lambs and
But
the
isn't that
bread and the fruit in the
reassuring
other.
how do you
I
do
find
that?
it very reassuring that they had no idea what that meant either, because I certainly don't. Okay. All right. And they shall be holy for the priest. Okay, good. All right, Audrey.
קראתם בעצם היום הזה מקרא קודש יהיה לכם כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו הוקת עולם בכל מושבותיכם לדורותיכם.
Okay, so those are a mouthful. So it'll be all for all time in your settlements throughout the ages. Okay, so on that same day you shall hold a celebration. It shall be a sacred occasion for you. So this is actually, Shavuot. You shall not work at your occupations. Melechet avodah, occupations. Okay. And Marilyn, we're back to you.
That first word is a dilly, isn't it? Uvkuts rachem.
Good. So that's as I said before, it makes it actually pronounceable. It makes it easy to pronounce because you can use this uvkuts rachem. Yeah.
Et kitzer. Wait. Et kitzer. Kitzer.
Kitzer, kitzer, if you want to be exact. Kitzer.
Arts. Oh, that's the same thing. Arts them. Lo techale. Peat. Sadra. Bekut recha. Velechem. No. Velechet. Kitzer ka. Lo telaket. Leane. Vilane, nay, no, Vilaner, Tiatso.
Me. Leani.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Ta'atzov, Otam, Ani, Adonai, Elohim.
Okay. And when you reap the harvest of your land, so, Eretz is in here, Artsa, and then Chem makes it your land, of your land. You shall not reap, I love this part. You shall not reap all the way to the edges of your field.
The edges, yeah.
Or gather the gleanings of your harvest. So, gleaning, right? To leave, you shall leave them. I don't have to, it shall leave them for the poor and the stranger. I, Adonai, am your God. So that's where the whole concept of gleaning comes from. That's exciting. I love when
it is nice. Yeah, that is nice.
It is.
There is a measurement with that, isn't there? It tells you how far the edges go, but it's not over here.
Maybe in the Talmud, it could be the Talmud, went into more detail about exactly what an edge of your field means, I don't think it's actually laid out in the Torah, but I can imagine that many rabbis spent hundreds of years deciding what that.
And it's mentioned later on in the book of Ruth, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It's all over Ruth. Yeah. All right. Okay, Amy, we're back to you. We could read a little bit more. We're getting now into Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, but
Vadaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor daber el bnei Yisrael lemor bachodesh
Good.
hashvi'i be'echad lechodesh Yihei
Yehiyah.
Yehiyeh
Yehiyah. Yeah. Yehiyah.
Yehiyeh Lachem Shabbaton Zichron Tiruah Mikra Kodesh.
Okay, so here we have Shabbaton by itself, meaning a complete rest. So not sure what above we had Shabbaton, and now we
Mhm.
just have Shabbaton, but okay. So speak to the Israelite people, and in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall observe complete rest, a sacred occasion commemorated with loud blasts. So here's Truah, one of the shofar blasts, Truah.
Yeah, good.
Okay, good.
Zichron means memory, right?
Right. A sacred occasion commemorated, right, commemorated with loud blasts. Okay. Mikra Kodesh is sacred occasion, yeah. Okay. And good. So we can we can read more of this because it's kind of I like to read the origins of the holidays and things that we're very familiar with, and maybe we could pick up there next time. Where did
yeah,
we move off?
that would be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, thank you, always. I enjoy this. And I hope,
do
I know,
too.
we all do, we wouldn't be here. Too many other things we could be doing. So,
Oh,
that we're
yeah.
here must be
I
something.
could be vacuuming. It's much better.
All right, well, have a good week. We'll be
You
together
too.
again,
Thank you.
I think
Thank
2 more
you.
times actually before Shavuot. And now we're all ready for Shavuot, and
Right, we know about it. We know
everything's
its
crystal
origins.
clear, right? We know exactly when we're supposed to elevate that Omer, and okay.
No
All right,
mention,
take care, be well. All right.
no
Bye.
mention of the first fruits. They don't bring the holiday of the first fruits. It's not mentioned at all.
We had the Bichurim. We talked
Did
about, yeah,
Oh,
there was
yeah.
Bichurim was in there.
Mhm.
Take another look. Remember I said, don't you all know Bichurim, the first fruits? And I thought you said,
No,
yes.
I don't. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
It's okay. It's all
I
good.
can't know,
Okay.
but thank